Welcome to Fluffy Peony watercolor tutorial. We will be using only 3 pigments to this flower head painting. Outline drawing is done, which is available for download. The size of the flower head and removing the excess amount of graphite off the paper. For this peony flower head, I will be using only 3 pigments, and mostly only 2, the third one will come in help. Starting with lemon yellow, permanent rose, which is mostly the main one, and Perylene Violet. Now let's mix these watercolors on a color palette, adding water, starting with permanent rose. For the second, I used permanent rose with lemon yellow. This color will be used at the very end to make more warmer shadow areas. And the third one is permanent rose with Perylene Violet. Remember to experiment with your own pigments and try to find what suits best. Now we can start painting, starting with the first layer with one section at a time, one petal at a time. This painting will be slightly different that I did my previous ones. Here is the main focus on making first layer really transparent. As you can see, water is also a very small amount. Look at this peony tutorial as an exercise to practice for applying first layer, really transparent those first layers. Make them with smooth transitions. Here we see that the base of each petal is much darker and the outer edge of the petal is almost white. And I saw this peony and I already thought that it would be a great exercise to practice gradual transitions from darker to lighter. And till the end, I will add another few layers and we will also practice fine brush strokes. This is not a painting of a perfect peony. This is more looser peony and more as an exercise for you to try techniques, for you to practice smooth transitions, smooth layer applying, and those beautiful, nice, fine brush strokes. Moving forward to the next petal, as I'm skipping those petals that are just right beside the one we just painted, so we are not disturbing the edges which are still a little bit wet, and going to that petal which is not in touch with the first one. Starting from the darker area with a round synthetic brush, I'm taking permanent rose and applying and pushing watercolors towards the lightest area. While the surface is wet, we can freely push watercolors, washing my brush towards the outer edge and smoothing carefully so it is becoming lighter and almost white at the very edge. While the surface is wet, I can move watercolors, direct them in that direction that I need. First layer is really transparent to build a very good base for the painting. And here we are really practicing how to do that. There's so many different size and different shape petals. So this is an amazing practice to practice this skill. Applying permanent rose and with the round synthetic brush, which is clean and dry now, I'm pushing watercolors and smoothing them towards the lightest area, gradually making that smooth transition. Full-length tutorial is almost 1 hour long and available on my Patreon in real time and with voiceover, explaining all the process of this exercise and how to get better with painting. Now I'm at the finishing stage of painting this peony. As I mentioned from the beginning, I'm not aiming here for perfect result. I was aiming to show you the technique of applying first layers, of applying transparent first layers, smooth transitions from dark to light, how to see tonal values, how to be more observative of reference, and how to practice fine brush strokes. Let your hand move a little bit faster and those brush strokes gonna be more and more finer and more beautiful addition to your painting. Hope you learned something new and enjoyed this watercolor painting. Thank you for being here and see you in my next tutorials. Bye bye.